Hello everyone. We'll continue a discussion on Python series with this tutorial. So in this particular video, we'll learn how to work with while loops. Okay, we'll learn how to work with loops. We'll discuss what loops are, and we'll talk about while loop. Uh, we'll talk about while loop in this tutorial. Okay, so this is just a reminder. This is a continuation. This is a continuation of our series. We had this Python course curriculum, and we have been following this religiously: concatenation, indentation, casting, and the rest. So we got to a point that we discussed if statements, okay, where we started with pseudocode and flowchart. But yeah, we completed that. So we talked about if, where we started this very, check out tutorial 6a, I think. Check out where we talked about if statements, and we started whether we assigned the weather variable to rainy, and we're able to make the checks here. So if it's rainy, use umbrella else. So the computer will make the decision rightly for us. We went on to discuss this, which was in a tutorial 6b. Okay. So we declared a score, okay, for student score. So this actually checked, at the beginning of it, it checked if the student passed or failed, but we improved it to get up to the point of checking if it's grade A or B or C or D or E or F, or if it's not allowed, that's beyond the boundaries, okay? But this code was not really efficient, okay, in that we were using values, okay, normal values, 100, we were repeating stuff. Repetition is not really nice, so we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we were repeating stuff. So we created another one, which was still on that particular 6b tutorial. Now with this one, we had school grades declared as variables, and we were merely able to call variables like this directly, which was really good, more efficient and scalable, okay? And we tested all this application. If you check out the video, you'll understand how we did this. We set upper boundary for 100. So if it bypasses 100, then the user will get this error that score is not allowed. If it's lower than the lower boundary, which is 0, then that score is not allowed. But within these boundaries, you make the checks and it will tell you which one it is. So this was that for that last part. And this part will focus, maybe let me just close this. This part will focus on loops. So what are loops? What are loops? Think about loops like this. Let's annotate. Think about, okay, think about, it may not be so nice, but I'm just trying to draw something that, yeah. Okay, think about loops like this. Or think about loops like this. Or think about loops like this. So what comes to your mind when you see these different things I've drawn on the screen? For a moment, you can pause and think. Now, what my students say when I ask this question is, what comes to their mind, first of all, is something that is continuous. Okay? And another one would say something that is infinite, that runs infinitely. Okay? So other ones, you say something that iterates. Okay, so these are all correct. Now, if you check here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, run to 10 million and beyond, keeps running. This, if we try, it will keep circling round. Okay, spiral, just keep spiraling around, if there's a word like that. Okay, all right. So this one will keep squaring around and no stop. Okay, this one will still dashing around till whenever. Okay, no stops. Okay, so this is what we call, this is what we can use to describe loops. So loops are iterations of an element, continuous iteration, okay, keeps going, and we can print with a single statement and it gives the continuous iteration of that statement. So, but one thing you should note about loops, is loops should always have a start point and an end point. This is particularly important. So without a start, without an end, the loop will run continuously and probably crash your system. Yeah, when I keep saying that, my students will say, I don't want to learn loops. I don't want to do it on my system so that I won't crash my system. Yes, you won't crash your system. So, but what happens is when loops continue to run and you don't stop them, they task the memory. And by so doing, the memory can run out and your system can crash. Okay. So what happens if that ever happens, if you ever have errors with loops? So what you do is Control C, click it severally, or you force and reboot your system. Okay. Shut down your system. Okay. So that's that. But when defining loops, always ensure that you have an endpoint, okay, a starting and an endpoint, okay? So that is that, that's that. All right, so let's get back to our class. All right, so let's create a file for our while loop. While loop, okay, py. I did not explain. Do we have while loop already? Okay, probably delete that one. Okay. Yes. All right, let's have a while loop. Py. Okay, now I didn't explain why we needed to. Okay, so we have loops and I divided this topic into two. So the second part of loop will be for loop, okay? But for you to understand for loop effectively, you have to understand what we call list or arrays, okay? So that's why after the while loop, I had to bring in arrays. I did also want to bring arrays before the while loop. So please, I think it's a better arrangement of our content, right? So with loops, you can do a lot of things, okay? At the end of this particular class, we will learn how to create something really nice, okay? We'll learn how to create this nice image. We'll learn how to create a timetable. You remember this, our exercise book that here. All right, so we create 2 times table, like 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6, and the rest 8 times 1, 8, 8 times 2. And the most popular was 11 times 1, 11, 11 times 2, 22, 11 times 3, 33. So we will see how to create this using loops with just a line of code. Okay, so but let's get started with the basic stuff. All right. So let's get started with the basic stuff. So loops will enable us to create something that looks like this, say 1 to 5. But how can you effectively create this? If I ask you to do that with the knowledge you have, you can create 1 for me and you do this. 2, 3, 4, 5. You print 2, you print 3, you print 4, and you print 5. But this is not effective. This will run. Yeah, but it's not effective. Yeah, this is not efficient enough, okay? So this is not what we do, but we use a while loop and efficiently print it out. So what if I ask you to print 1 to 10,000 with loops, with while loop? So you continue to print and keep waiting to change this? No. So we'll use while loop to see how to print this easily, right? All right. All right, let me clear the screen. Okay, so to use while loop, this is a how should I call it? This is the syntax for while loop. Okay, so you have a variable, you declare a variable, okay, and assign it something. Then you have a while statement, while condition, okay, while condition, okay. Then do something. Okay, as far as this condition is true, then continue to do something. So that's what how loops look like. Okay, so where we have variable now, let's loop from 1 to 10. So I can have x is assigned the value of 1. We want to start from 1. Okay, we want to start from 1. Okay, so that's our starting point. Remember when I said start and a finish, okay? And then, sorry, loop has iterates. You can continuously iterate here after doing something, okay? So what condition do we want to check? While x is, let's just remove this bracket and have x is less than or equal to 10. What should you do? Print x. Okay, so if you forget to put this last line, then that will happen to us, that infinite loop. If I run this, or it's running, and if I allow it to go on, it will crash my system. So what I do is I click here and I interrupt with the keyboard, Control C. Okay, your computer may be shouting at this time, but it's understood. So you need to add this iteration. The iteration keeps it running from one thing looping, okay, to the other. So our iteration here will be like x plus equal to 1, right? So you want to add 1 as it loops. So what happens is when it adds 1, it comes back and checks again, while x, okay, at first it checks x is less than 10. The starting point is 1, so it adds the 1. So when it comes back, it already has 1. Okay, so it's now checking is x still less than 10? If yes, it adds another 1, which was this one, and you have 2, and it prints 2 for you, and it continues like that, right? So print x. So this should run properly now. So it runs from 1 to 10 expectedly, right? So if you want it to run from 1 to 50, you just change this to 50, and it runs from 1 to 50 for us. You see how powerful loops are. We didn't need to type all this. It runs from 1 to 50 for us. Okay. All right. So what if you wanted it to start at 20 to 30 and stop at 30? So it will run from 20 to 30 for us, expectedly 20 to 30. Okay. So what if you wanted it to run 20, 22, 24, 20 in twos? You can just add 2 here, and it runs for us. Okay, 20, 22, 24, 26. So that's how beautiful and powerful loops are. Okay, so I mean, you can, I've been too fast with that, but maybe I can just go back a bit for you to pause the video and copy what we have done so that I won't be too fast. Okay, so you can pause the video a while, copy and understand. If you have any questions, ask on the comment section. Okay, all right, so something interesting comes to mind. What if we want to print loops upside down, like from, let's say from 50 to 10, okay, in tens. Print loops from 50 to 10 in tens, okay? All right, so let's have a new file for that. While loop, descending, okay, .py. All right, so, okay, print from 50 to 10, iterate by tens, okay? All right, so let's see how to do that. So the first thing to do is to declare where you want to, this time, where you want to stop. So we have x is assigned the value of 50. Okay, so we now say while x is greater than or equal to 10, to print it upside down now, print x. print x. Okay, and the iteration will be the other way around because it's upside down now. So we have x minus equal to 10. So it will print in 10. Okay, so it's actually starting from a higher place, coming down to the lower place, and then iterating in 10. So let's see how that goes. So if we print this, so we have 50, 40, 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. Okay, so if we wanted it to iterate in, let's try that. So it iterates now from 50 to 10, but all the numbers inclusive, not just in tens. Okay, so 10, 50, 49, and the rest of them, right? So, and it gets us down to 10 because we stopped at 10. If we change this to 5, it will definitely get down to 5. We can try that, 5. So it gets down to 5, from 50 to 5. So that's how to print upside down. You can pause the video and see how it looks. Okay, try to understand the concept of printing it upside down. Okay, all right, so that is that for this particular video. I mean, this particular concept of printing. Sorry, I'm in in a hurry, so but I hope it's fine. So I mean, you don't need to make the video to be really fast. I mean, I'm fast. You don't need to make it 2 times faster, right? All right, so the next thing we'll consider now will be to print a certain number. I mean, print a certain number, just that number, okay? Because we want to have this concept of being able to build our, let me show you. We want to have 1 time, like 2 times, we want 2 to be on a certain row without changing, okay? So that's what you want. You want something like this. Let me open a new, this thing. So we have while loop. Let me create a new one. While loop, while loop, same number, okay, .py. Okay, so same number .py. So you want something that looks like this. You're having maybe 1 time, 2 times table. So you have 2 times 1, 2, 2 times so 2. So we are printing the same thing. This time not we are not changing like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are printing the same thing a number of time. Okay, print the same number multiple times. Okay, so that's what we do. We want to do. How do we achieve this? How can we achieve this? Print the same thing multiple times. Okay, so we can just call this can I call it same number? Sort of variable name. So let's print 2 multiple times. So we have same number there. Then we are we need something also. Oh, we need, let's see, maybe we don't need it. Let me just try this. So while x is less than, we want to print to 12 times. So the number of times, right? While x is less than 12, so print what? Same number. Okay, and we are having x plus equal to 1. Let's see. So okay, we needed x while something is here. We need x there. Okay, so we should have that same number. So while x is equal to, can give it 0. Okay, so let's print that. So it prints 2 for us, 12 good times. We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So what if we needed 5 to be printed 3 times? So we just change this to 5 and we change this to 3. So 5 will be printed 3 times. So that's the logic for this one. You can pause the video a while and understand how to do this. Sorry, I'm really in a hurry, but I hope you like it this way. Just leave a comment. Let me know if you like really slow pace videos or you like the ones that I'm actually rushing. Okay. All right. So whichever pattern you like, maybe I'll have to switch and be sending videos with those patterns. All right. So we check the last but not the least, the multiplication table, right? So while loop, um, so we have while loop, multiplication table. It's so long, but let's be with that. I think it's so long. Multiplication. Let me just remove table while loop multiplication. Mult.py. Okay. 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 Think while loop multiplication table. There was an error with that. I don't know. I think I had a full stop at the end. .py. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. This is the really interesting part. So let's have our mult table. Our mult table. Okay. So we can have a mult. We want to work with 2 times table first. Okay, so we want to have where we start. We start from what? Let's start from 1, and let's have where we stop. Okay. So we'll stop at, can we just stop at 12? Let's see. Okay, so while what happens? This is the really tricky part. So while what is that? Stats. Okay. While stats is less than or equal to end, stop. Okay. What should you do? Okay. Remember what we did here, printing same number. We will use that logic to get this other left hand side first, right? So let's see what's happening. So print what? So we want to print time what did we call it? Mult table. Okay, we want to print mult table. Actually, we'll print several things, but let me just remember our format keyword for concatenation. So we'll be using it here. It's really necessary. So remember, you don't stop here. We have to increment the start by 1. So start plus equal to 1. So let's see. I hope we don't have any errors. Okay, so this is fine. It prints to 12 times for us. Now, we want to add this. This is what we are trying to achieve. We want it to look like this. Let me reduce it. So we want it to be like 2 times 1 equal to 2. This is what we want. We need something that runs like this. Okay, and continue running till 2 times 12 is equal to 24. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 3, 6, and the rest of them, right? So this is what we are trying to achieve. This is what we are trying to achieve, right? 2 times 1, 2, 2 times. So we already have this left-hand side, which is 2. Okay, so what we need to bring in now is the x. Just type x because you are safe. We are inside a string. Okay, and we can go ahead and type equal to, but let's not rush so that you don't misunderstand what we are doing. So we type x. If we run this again, you see that it prints for us what we want, 2 times, okay? What we actually wanted here, 2 times. The X is a string, the way we are using it here. We are not actually computing it, okay? It's not the product per se. So, but I'll show you the one that it has to do with product. That one we use asterisk because of the multiplication sign, which is asterisk in Python, right? So, so we have mult table times, okay? So 2 times 1, and then that one should increment. That one should be start, the one that should increment, okay? So we have our start, which is here. This one is steady, okay? It's steady, so we just have it there. So start. Okay, so we have 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So it increments, and 2 times 11, 2 times 12. So the next thing will be what? Our equal sign. So inside the string, just put equal like this. So these ones wrapped around the curly braces are actually variables. Please, if you've not watched the video on concatenation, it's wise to go back so you understand Python concatenation. It's really easy, okay? So you wrap all the variables around these curly braces, but every other string, just type them like that, raw inside of this. And you have the F keyword outside here and the open and close quotes, right? Wrapping everything. All right, the last thing we need to do is this is easy now. 2 times 1, that's what gives 2. 2 times 2, that. So what we need to do is actually to multiply using Python. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So this one and this one, which is mult table times that. Mult table times that. So all we need to do is to just get this, copy, and place it here as a variable. And place it here. Let me remove this so you can see very well. So place it here as a variable. Okay. Place it here as a variable. Then times, let me push this 6 down and make this smaller. Then you use this asterisk. Let me show you first before I make it smaller. You use this asterisk. Okay. So let me make it smaller now. Okay. So the ones on the left are just multiplying themselves, and that's as easy as ABC. So 2, for example, times 1. So it's just 2 times 1, and we use the asterisk to get the product from Python. So this will give us a fantastic result. All right. So if we try this now, you will see our timetable. Okay. Okay. So we get this error for, I think I missed something there. Okay, it has to be inside 1 so that the calculation will be nice. Okay, so this gives us the correct answer. Please mark you, it has to be inside the same so that it calculates properly. So 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, and then the beauty is that you can always extend this. It can stop at 100 if you want it. So let's draw it upward so you can see, 2 times 100, 100, 200, 2 times 99, 198. So it runs as long as you want it to run, but you should always have a stop so that it doesn't crash. Okay, so this is the logic that works. Okay, now the last bit, although I'm going to rush into it, is just to make sure that we allow our users to do this by themselves. I don't always like to add code, always like the user to do it. So let me copy this, copy and paste. And which one is which? So I will rename this to 2. Okay. So, all right. So I close every other thing. So we want the user to be able to input it. So we just give it to the user. This still runs, mark you. So this still runs, but we don't want to hard code anything, right? So what we need to do is we have our, since it's going to be an integer, so we have input. So we have input, okay, and we have enter a number, okay, a multiplication table number, yeah, mult table number. Okay, so we can have that. And we do the same thing here, where you want to start, where you want to start. Okay, and where you want to end. Okay, where you want to end. So once you do this, everything will work very well. So if we have here, I need 5 timetable. I want to start at 2. I want to end at 6. So it gives me 5 times 2, 10, this, that. So thank you very much for watching. I love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.